There you are. Oh, I thought we'd have to do the show without you, Brandon.
Mm-hmm.
Podcasting will be a thrill. Grandpa and chill, grandson and friends. Podcasting Grandpa and chill will be a thrill, grandson and friends. With your hosts, Grandpa Barton, Brandon Fox, Phines Jackson, and Sierra Dawes. This is Grandpa and Chill.
Brandon Fox's video has been disabled due to internet. Oh, sorry. I won't put his information out there. Like
I can see you.
Damn.
I
can't see him.
I can't
Grandpa,
see him.
can you see Brandon?
I can see.
Brandon, can you intro? You're gonna intro the show since you see all of us.
Let me just. Grandpa, you want to introduce the show?
I can barely hear you. Did you ask me if I want to do the introduction? Was that?
Yeah.
Okay. This is our terrific podcast. And frankly, I don't know what we're even going to discuss this evening and whether we even have any guests. So, but we have our terrific co-host, Phines, and our great engineer, Sierra, and Brandon, who just got up, I think. Just woke up. And,
I'm going to cry, bro.
And did you take a shower yet, Brandon? I guess Sierra would be the person, or Brandon, to ask what's on the agenda this evening. Who do you have for guests, guests, and what are we going to discuss? Anything in particular, or just leave it open?
Should be an intervention for Brandon.
Well, Grandpa Bart, I'm going to tell you, we've got the beautiful, wonderful, fantastic, expert storyteller, Azumi Tsutsui, coming back for a whole episode, regaling us with more beautiful stories and more.
Don't you have a soundboard?
Let me start over. I'm sorry. Where's something good? Where's some good shit? Where's the music? They had some little beats. Okay. Fuck, it's so loud. It's really loud when it previews. Like,
we don't hear it.
It's all the way up when it previews.
Oh.
All right, give me 1 second. All right, guys, listen up. This week, we've got the amazing, incredible, talented, fantabulous, multilingual Azumi Tsutsui joining us in the episode you're about to hear. Let me get it. Yeah, clap it up, clap it up, clap it all the way up, people. Clap it all the way up. If you're just jumping in somehow, you haven't heard of Azumi, return guest, very popular, highly recommended person to know. She runs these New York streets in a non-criminal way. Great guest, great friend of the show, ready to just pop off.
Wow. Just like magic.
What's good, Azumi? It's not. I'm not getting all the info I need.
Brandon, are you still in the 7-step program?
Azumi!
Yeah. It looks like a villain.
Hello.
Switch your
Hello.
Switch your
Good.
Hey, how are you? Switch your hair to the other side. There it is. Okay.
Azumi,
okay.
I like your
All right.
hair.
Thank you. Got a haircut.
Yes. We haven't seen you in forever. How are you?
Good. I was in Japan.
Really?
Whoa.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really? How long were you
2
there for?
months.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. How was it?
It's good, of course. And so my sister, I was with my family the entire time. My sister has 2 kids, 2 boys, 3, and then the younger one is 1.5 years old. I was taking care of them.
Can you say that one more time?
Yeah, I was taking care of my niece.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. My internet is
And what
slow.
city were you in, Azumi? Oh.
That's okay.
Is it?
Okay. Yeah.
Is it? Are you asking us? Is it slow?
It's slow, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
What city is your family in, Azumi?
So my sister is in Saitama. Saitama is next to Tokyo.
Okay.
Well, Brandon and I visited Japan, I guess, 8 years ago or something like that, 10 years ago. And I was there in 1959. And it was more fun in 1959.
Really?
That's so funny.
Mm-hmm.
But what's the difference?
Well, when I was there in 1959, many Japanese people spoke English, for one thing. And when I went back, very few spoke English, which is surprising.
That's
you would think
surprising.
it would be the other way around.
Yeah.
Pardon?
Surprising? Why? Why is it surprising?
1959. How long ago? 1959. 60 years ago, people speak English. And then 8 years ago, people don't speak English anymore.
Well, not to the same degree. Not as many.
When
people.
were you? What were you in Japan
That was my
for?
experience.
When were you in Japan?
What?
In the 50s.
I just went there to have some fun.
Wow.
Adding that to the list.
Did you go by yourself?
I did.
Or did you go with somebody?
But I had a very interesting trip there. In fact, I traveled across Japan with. I don't know if you know who Ira Gershwin is, but he's a lyricist, George Gershwin's brother, and I just had a great time.
You traveled Japan with Ira Gershwin?
Well, how
do you know? How do you know him?
I George Gershwin's brother. Yeah, I didn't know him at all. I just happened to be given we shared a train, and it was Ira Gershwin and his wife and another couple. They were like old people to me at the time. I was a young guy, couldn't care less. But later on in life, I realized, that I had gone across Japan with him.
That's cool.
But
so, how old were you?
I was 19
when you went to go to Japan,
and I had an experience. I met the All Japan champion of judo, and from 1955, his father owned a taxi cab company in Japan, and he introduced me to different people, and I went to the big, I guess you'd call it an arena or hall where they all work out, and I tried to do, wrestling with these guys, and these little kids would take me right down. And I also went to the Metro Ballroom in Osaka, which has like 500 hostesses, which was interesting. And this is a long time ago. I was a kid. I was 19.
Can you explain who the Gershwins are for people like me who don't know?
Well, they wrote
the famous musicians who wrote I Got Rhythm and many famous world-renowned classics.
Rhapsody in Blue.
I didn't know that you travel. I had no idea.
Yeah. But Brandon and I had a terrific time in Japan. In fact, we went to a place where you sang with it was like a karaoke, and we had our own little room. And I didn't understand it. They kept bringing drinks in. Brandon was only 18 or 17 or something at the time.
16, yeah.
16. He didn't tell me that he had ordered all these drinks, and but we had a good time there.
But I think one of the things was you said it's at least Tokyo is very expensive now, right? That's what you were.
Yeah, it is.
Like the U.S. dollar.
What?
How do you spell the last name of this guy? Who was this
Gershwin?
Gershwin, Gershwin. But George Gershwin and Ira Gershwin. George wrote the music and Ira wrote the lyrics, I believe.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
But they just happened to be a couple that were two couples that were traveling across, and I happened to get in the same, share the same train car.
That's
with
wild.
them. That's all. Yeah.
Mm.
But I had a great time there. I really enjoyed myself. In fact, I was supposed to go to Hong Kong next, and I decided not to go and just stay in Japan. And I had stayed in a motel. It was called the what was it? The Prince and the Princess. They were next door to one another. And I left Japan. That was the motel I stayed in, or hotel. And I left Japan, and I went to another city. I don't remember. I left Tokyo, I meant to say. I left Tokyo, and I went to either Osaka or Kyoto. I don't recall. But I came back, and I asked the taxi cab driver to take me to that same Prince and Princess motel, and he drops me off at that. Nobody recognizes me, and I'd been there for like a week, and nobody recognized me, and I couldn't figure out what was going on. It turns out that there was another Prince and Princess hotel right around the corner. They took me to the different one, so
This
it's just
is funny
a
name.
wonderful experience there.
Prince and Princess.
It was either Prince and Princess or King, and it's been a long time.
It's a model,
But
it's Prince and Princess. The model for Prince
it was
and
a
Princess.
long time ago. Yeah. So,
Do you go to Japan 2 times, like for two months a year, or is that something you regularly do?
Grandpa? Me? Okay. I try to go back at least once a year, but because of the COVID last year, I didn't go back. So the last time I went back was, I don't know, before the COVID.
So you were just there for like 2 months. Like, were you just chilling out and just hanging out with your family, or did you like do anything else?
Mostly chilling out. So the first 2 weeks, I have to stay at home. It's a self-quarantine period.
Right.
And then it's kind of really strict. At the time I went back, of course I have to get the PCR before. It's like everything is so strict. You have to get this kind of format for the PCR. You have to get it English, and then have to be this type of test, blah, 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 something like that. And it's like, you have to find that clinic or hospital that can give me that kind of paper. Mm-hmm. And it's expensive. And so after I get back so everything is too complicated, even now. Like, I have to fly to Osaka, not to Tokyo. Usually I fly to Tokyo and then Osaka, because Osaka is where my parents are, and then I can, easily stay. So, but this time I cannot choose a flight to Tokyo, because once I landed in Tokyo, I have to stay 14 days there.
Okay.
Right? Oh. And then from the airport, you cannot use public transportation. You cannot use taxi. No train, bus, no. So you have to have someone, like a family, friends, who can drive you to the destination, or you have to hire a private driver or something. That's expensive too.
Who ended up being your driver?
So I landed in Osaka, so my parents came. Yeah.
Oh, thank gosh.
So okay. If I landed in Tokyo, I could have stayed with my sister, because sister is living kind of near to Tokyo, but it's not like near. And my sister has 2 little kids, so I don't want to put them in danger. Mm-hmm. So I have to choose the flight that goes directly to Osaka. There's no flight from New York. So I have to fly LA first, and then LA to Osaka. And then that flight, there's only 1 flight in a week. That's expensive too. And and then I landed in Osaka. In Osaka airport, you have to get tested again. That is different test. That is not called the PCR. that is like something different. You have to give them your saliva, and so you have to like they give me this little container, and then I have to spit it a lot. And but it's not easy because you have to like they need to have certain amount.
Yeah,
that's kind of
I
a lot.
I did it once, and he's like, "That's not enough. Keep spitting." I was like,
yeah, it's ill. And then there's a booth like with the partition, and then in that booth there's like a photograph of a lemon, so you can spit lemon.
What? A lemon?
Yeah.
A photograph of it?
Yeah.
To make you want to spit? Makes your mouth water when you see it?
I think so, yeah.
I'm just thinking of the poor bastard that has
Never
to
spit
go
so much in your
through
life.
like 80 pounds of spit a day.
Yeah, I know. It stinks.
That's wild, though. Love all those precautions.
Especially the time of day. I think about just doing that in the morning when I'm like all mucusy, and it's like
no.
It's
after
like
13 hours of flight.
Yeah, dry mouth is like
Stop. Stop. No one's gonna listen to this. Stop.
But it's the reality. But that's what it is. That's how they do it.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's like I think that's the hardest part of the trip. The spitting.
Did you get vaccinated before you went, or?
Yes, but they don't care. They don't even ask me. Vaccination.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, vaccination hasn't started there yet, so they don't really trust it, or they don't.
I wouldn't.
They don't care. They don't have the system.
There's no. I'm unfamiliar. But.
So the people over 65 years old, they just started getting it.
Wow.
Like a month ago. My mom is 60. I don't know, 65, 66, something like that. So she just got vaccinated last month.
Dang.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's very slow.
Dang, that is.
They're very concerned right now.
The Olympics.
They're very concerned right now.
Bro, the freaking Olympics.
Yeah, Olympics.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Yeah.
What about
They don't
it?
have rollout.
What do you say about it?
Everybody hate it. Nobody's welcome in the Olympics. Everybody's like, why are we doing this?
I'd be pissed.
The government, right, like in Japan, really pushed for it though. I thought.
Yeah, because of the financial.
Do it now, right?
Because they're gonna they lose
money.
a lot of money if they cancel it. Yeah, but nobody enjoys it. Nobody.
It's
really
even
love
crazier. It's even crazier that the vaccine rollout in Japan isn't going that
so
fast.
slow.
But they're still doing. They're still doing it. I can't. That's crazy.
They're still doing it.
So
I know.
Does the vibe in Japan feel like the United States a few months ago? Like it still feels very much like in peak pre-vaccine times, or
The rate, like case numbers.
the lockdowns and just the general vibe and the fear.
Yeah, so we didn't do lockdown. We just call it emergency state declaration, something like that. But it's not like, so the difference between Japan and the US is that US can order the people what to do, right? The president has the power. But the Japanese government doesn't have the power to say to the people to what to do. Because after the war, we changed the constitution. Before that, we're horrible country. And it was almost like a dictatorship. And then the leader tells the people to die in the war. So after that, we regret it, and then we changed it completely. So now the government cannot say what to do. So the emergency state declaration, that thing, only asks the people to stay at home. If you go out, nothing happens. It's just, so the government asked the restaurant not to open after like 8 p.m. or something, and then people believe, so the government believes like alcohol is the really bad thing, because when people get drunk, people like gather together and then talk loud and then spit it to each other. So the government said no alcohol. And don't like hang out more than 4 people at the same time. And then go home after 8 p.m. Something like that. That's what they said. That's the only thing they can ask us to do. And also the mask. We have to wear the mask, but there's no penalty or anything like that if you don't wear the mask. But people follow the rules because they're Japanese. That's the crazy thing. That's the weird thing. But the Japanese, for example, if you don't wear a mask in a train, somebody will, I don't know what exactly happens, but there's something called self-police kind of people. I don't know how to say it. Yeah, but some of the people are normal.
No, just like self-policing, kind of? like telling people what to do.
Yeah.
Being like, hey,
yeah.
I got you.
Yeah, something like that. And then the bad case, people take the photos of the people who don't wear a mask and then put it on their Instagram or Twitter or something like that. But that's like, sometimes that gets
public shaming.
That gets too extreme. That's like too much. Because you're not a police. You're not. Yeah. You don't have any power. You can't tell the people what to do. Of course.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. It's good and bad. But sometimes it's annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is. You're right. You got a bunch of people policing other people.
If people would just be normal.
Yeah.
I mean, it wouldn't be an issue. Like, it'd be one thing if you were just like, it would almost even be one thing if like a lot of Americans were just out here like not wearing a mask, but just like minding their business. But no, it's like always somebody not wearing a mask, getting way up in your personal space, like that lady at the pink store. I'm never gonna stop bringing that up. She, always in your face, or they're just being really extra, and they know they're being extra because they don't have a mask. They're asking for it. They're attention seeking. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. It's good and bad.
Hopefully. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I just want people to be safe, but at the same time, I'm also about people having freedom, so they can do what they want.
Yeah, that's the thing. Freedom, right? That's the difference. Yeah, it's like here. Yeah, you have the freedom. You can choose what to do. In Japan, yes, you have freedom.
Yeah.
But in reality, we don't. It's like, it's not. Yeah, it's not obvious.
So it's like
there's rules. You have to feel and sense.
It's like
it's not explicit, so you have to really sense it. Yeah, we have certain words that the people cannot feel this thing around you. Those people, we tend to hate those people.
Wait, what people?
People cannot sense what the people around you are feeling.
Oh, yeah. We can't read the room.
Yeah,
no, that's like the place for me.
Air.
That's how I feel. I'm like, just wear your. I don't care if you don't want to wear a mask, but just be considerate of others. Just understand the vibes right now, which is safety of others.
Yeah, and it's like,
yeah. That's why I like it.
I'm trying to remember what. There's a name for it, and I'm trying to remember what it is, but it's basically like a principle of like the simplest answer is usually the correct one. I'm trying to remember. Is it like, it's not Occam's razor, it's something, but like the simplest answer is like, usually the correct one. And it's like, do you really think that everybody around the world that physically can, or that that realizes what's going on, is like wearing a face mask everywhere they go? Do you think they're just doing that like out of boredom, out of like a sense of like missing identity? Like, what do you think they're doing that for? You're sheep,
sheep, man.
Like, do you really think that they're just doing that because they're so bored, or they had nothing to do, or someone just told them to, and like literally like half the planet was just like, well, since you asked, I guess I just will everywhere I go for 18 months. Like, no, obviously not. Obviously not what's going on. We got to use our think-a-dinks out here.
I think that's what they think. I think that's something what they think, though. They're thinking, like, you just, whatever they tell us to do, we're doing.
What do you think is going to happen if this new, is it called a Delta strain or whatever, is supposed to be much more easily contracted? Do you think people will freely put masks on again? Because I know most people now are not wearing them.
They're not going to go back to any of that stuff they did last year. It's not going to work.
Nope.
Yeah, but it's like, that's the difference between here and there. So in Japan, people wear a mask, whatever. Even before the COVID, the allergy season, almost like 90% of the people in the train wear masks.
Yeah.
So wearing the mask is like, it's normal thing for us. So it's not like, it's okay. We can do that the entire time. But here, people really hate it. Right? And then after you get vaccinated, you're like, okay, I'm free of the masks. But I'm still scared. Why can you be like that? Like, what's so bad about...
Because LA County actually just reinstated their mask mandate on Saturday.
Good. Yeah.
Everybody, like, that night, like, people, like, by, like, 12 p.m. that day on Saturday, they're like, oh, I guess I'm gonna, like, carry my mask, and then by that night, everybody had their mask on again.
Damn.
Inside.
Yeah.
So, yeah, everybody is LA, so I don't know, but everybody is, like, being compliant. But the funny part, I think we're the only county in the whole country that's doing this right now.
And the sheriff said he just wasn't gonna he wasn't gonna enforce it.
So the even if you're vaccinated, you have to wear a mask. But the people that aren't, they're like, fuck this, are the ones that weren't wearing their mask anyway and aren't going to get vaccinated in the first place. And then you just have a bunch of vaccinated people wearing masks and a bunch of unvaccinated people not. And it's like, it's a bit funny of a situation.
Yeah.
Well,
is this survival of the fittest? I mean,
honestly,
the people that are too dumb to wear a mask.
And the fittest was.
I watched an interview with the LA sheriff this weekend, and this woman. It was part of my pants story when I was telling you guys. CNN was on, and this woman is interviewing him, and because he's just flat out said, like, I'm not going to enforce that, and basically the interview just boiled down to, you know, he was pissy because I guess last year or the year before, somebody cut his budget. And even though most of the funds ended up getting reallocated back into his little sheriff's budget, he was basically just not going to enforce the mandate because he was bitter about it, even though it doesn't matter anymore. And this woman is like, well, I know you're like bothered about that, but aren't you worried that all these, aren't you worried just about like the health aspect of it, you know? Of not enforcing a mask mandate.
I can't hear you at all. What's going on?
Is that me? I don't know.
No, I can hear you. It's you,
hello?
Brandon.
There was a scratchy sound.
I don't know.
Scratchy?
I don't know. There was some.
It's just ghosts, guys. It's fine. It's just ghosts.
Yeah,
I get them all the
it's
time.
Brandon. Yeah.
House is super haunted. Don't worry about it.
Shut up, Brandon.
Shut up, Meg. No.
Yeah, it's just you, Brandon. Yeah.
No, she's like, you know, the health aspect, you know, mask mandate is literally just to keep people safe. Why would you not enforce that? And he's like, basically, you know, this isn't a good use of my time. You know, this isn't a good use of my sheriff time. I should be out here, you know, stopping crime, rush hour style. But instead here, you know, you want me to go down, you want me to drive over to every Wendy's parking lot to, you know, break up a fight with some weirdo that, you know, is trying to make some proud American wear a mask, whatever. And so she's like, well, I get what you're saying about that, but, you know, children, you know, there's children, there's sick people, there's older people that can't, you know, all children can't get the vaccine. You literally, like, 12 and up, I think is the number. You know, all these other, everybody under 12 literally is just straight up at risk. And he was like, oh yeah, well, the important thing is, you know, that children can't get the vaccine, okay? They don't even have to worry about all this because they're not going to get the vaccine. And she's like, I know, that's what I'm telling you. They're at risk. It was just a mess. It was a mess. He just didn't care. He literally just didn't care. I've never seen someone care less, but go all the way on CNN.
That's who the true Americans are.
He
kids
really said,
that can't get vaccinated.
It was really funny. Like, he said,
no,
fuck
they're
them
his
kids.
heroes.
I don't care. My kid's in high school. Didn't care.
Azumi, a few things that I noticed very different from when I was in Japan in '59 compared with 7 or 8, 10 years ago. Mm-hmm. One thing is that at that time when I went there, there were 360 yen to $1. It meant that you had 3.5 times the buying power that you have today. So I bought a beautiful camera that here in the States was probably $500 or $600 over there for $175. Pearls, I went visited Mikimoto, their actual plant there, and you could get just tremendous bargains. Another thing that's interesting to me is that when I was there in the late 50s, most of the people were very short. They actually wore shoes with like high risers on the shoes, and I felt tall, and I'm not tall. At that time I was 5'8", and I felt tall around them. And normally, now I went back to Japan, and they're of average height. So how in just, I don't know, a couple of generations or so, people change their heights so drastically. It's amazing to me.
Yeah, only 40 years or so, and people changed
their stature.
A lot. Wow.
Yeah.
What are y'all eating?
Something good?
Tell us now. No, just...
But it's like, I don't know. The people 50 years ago, those are people who experienced wars, right? Yeah, 50 years ago. Yeah. They've been through the wars, and then they've been through really difficult times. They must have starved during the war. But after that, we're economical situation goes like really high up. Like that speed was like amazing. And then we became really, really rich country in, I don't know, 10 years, something like that, in a very short period of time. And yeah, we eat sushi. We eat a lot of vegetables and fish. And
so my mom was right.
What?
My mom was right about eating vegetables to make me grow.
And sushi.
You have to eat vegetables. Yeah. Vegetables and proteins, but it's a balanced diet. But the thing is, the point is, so the pregnant people, during the pregnancy, if the mother starved or doesn't have enough nutrition, the baby born smaller, and then the baby after the baby grew up, they cannot get taller. I think that's what it is.
That makes sense.
What's the average height now? I mean, what was the height?
I don't know, but I'm 5'2", and I think I'm average for ladies.
You're what?
Sorry, did I cut off?
Okay.
You hear me?
Okay.
Yeah, 5'2" is an average for women.
This makes me think of. Sorry, no, it's okay. You cut off a little bit. You said you're an average height. 5'2"?
I think so. Yeah, for girls. Yeah.
Oh, okay. What about the money?
Money.
What about the dollar to dollar ratio?
Oh,
is it closer
it's like
now?
$1 is like 100.
Should I go to Japan to buy a camera?
Nah, I don't think so. 108, 110, something like that. So it's almost the same, and also everything.
It's very close compared to what it was back in '59.
Getting very close.
The dollar and 100 yen to $1.
Mm-hmm. In Tokyo, everything is getting more expensive.
Damn.
You missed like the last 8 seconds of what you were saying.
In Tokyo, everything is getting.
I've been thinking it was me, so I'm just like smiling.
What?
No, it's not your bad, Azumi. It's Brandon.
Okay,
Sorry.
Brandon. Okay.
I'm lagging Azumi's.
Yeah, you're lagging too. Yeah. Anyway, so the things.
Shh, Brandon.
We're having a problem with the transmission.
What's going to be devastating is that, like, it's going to be recording fine on Azumi's end when it uploads to Riverside, but
Yeah.
This is gonna look like a bunch of silent people just sitting there quietly, like
hear it perfectly and then respond like we can't hear you.
Right. She's just gonna keep she's gonna keep talking in her like final clip that I get, but like we're just gonna be like, it'll be great. I can't wait.
Well,
okay.
When Brandon and I were there, we visited, I think it's the largest fish market in the world. They said that it supplies 1/4 of all the seafood in the world, which is a lot. And it was pretty old place. And recently that was torn down and they
moved to a
changed the whole
location.
facility.
Yep.
But 1/4 of all the seafood in the world.
Where'd you hear that?
Pardon? I read about it about 6 months ago, a year ago.
Know. He's got people. Mm-hmm.
He's got friends everywhere. Yeah.
He's got people. He's got
yeah.
friends,
So the fish market moved to
what is it in Game of Thrones? He's got the little spiders.
This sounds like a great transmission. At least I'm hearing noise in the background.
You know, there's some spice on it.
Is that me?
I don't know. It's just guys. It's just ghosts. It's fine. We get them all the time. It's fine.
Hey, maybe it's Azumi. Azumi, maybe it's you. Mute your mic. Let's see if it's you.
What, is it me? Really?
I don't know. Let's say. Find out. Mute yourself.
Okay.
But yeah, Azumi was mentioning that how.
Nope.
Dang,
wait,
Azumi,
it is her.
You're haunted. Damn, girl. Rip.
What about now?
Yeah, it's definitely the ghost is definitely.
We blame Brandon. Look at him.
Bro. Is it still?
It comes and goes. You know, the ghost is busy.
Yeah.
Is it my AC?
Maybe. Yeah. Okay.
Because my AC
that's
has
probably
been
what it is.
on and off. Okay, I'm gonna.
That's hilarious. That's what it is.
I'm gonna just sweat.
You mentioned, Azumi, how the economy shot up, after the war. And, Japan has been like the powerhouse of electronics. The best electronics are made in Japan, but now a lot of it is switched over to China and
right.
Taiwan
China,
and
Korea.
other countries. But Japan really started the revolution in electronics.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And cars.
And their products are terrific.
Yeah.
Cars.
Yeah.
TVs,
mm-hmm.
just everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, so if you want to have a really good sushi...
Like you used to hearing, like, yeah, we're the best.
Yeah, so if you want to have a really good sushi, so the fish market, there's a really big fish market, like Grandpa said. So they got a new location. They moved to a new location, and then so it's a huge building. So it's a fish market for professional fish dealers, like restaurants and sushi chefs and something like that. But there is a section. There are like restaurants, and then the ordinary people can go and have a sushi lunch there. So it's a really fresh sushi, and so I went there with my mom, and it's a lunch. It's a, how do I say, prefix course, 8 pieces, and 1 roll, and it's good. I was going to say, I guess, how much, but it's, I don't know. It's not really interesting to ask. So I'm going to just say it's a 50 each person for lunch.
50. Oh, okay. Is it that good?
It is good. So it's for lunch. If you get the same thing for dinner, I'm sure it's going to cost like more than 100. Right. And then it's in that fish market, you can get it cheaper. So I don't know if it's cheap or not. But it was good. It was really good. And yeah, I don't think you can get something close to that in New York. Mm.
Oh, wow. That's saying something.
Yeah, it is good.
Azumi, Brandon and I visited, I forget if it was an island or peninsula that has these fantastic mausoleums throughout the island. It was like a cemetery, but the deer ran around and you could pet them. They came right up to you, and they had just, I'd say, hundreds of these very substantial mausoleum buildings where the dead were buried. Very beautiful place. Are you familiar with that at all?
Deers?
Pardon?
Deer, right? You see the deer.
The deer came right. Yeah, the deer were.
Okay. Yeah, I think
friendly towards people.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I know what you're talking about. It's not really in the peninsula. It's like it's in the mainland. But there's one place which is really historical and it has a big temple. Yeah, and then deer. Yeah, lots of deer. And then deer, so people there think like deers are the gods, like the messengers of the gods. So it's like
the deities.
Deities is a god itself, right?
Yeah.
So in India, people think is the cows are something close to gods.
Yeah.
Something like that, right? So it's like that. The deers are like messengers of the gods or something like that. So we have to really treat them well. And some of the place sells like snacks with deer. So you can buy snacks for deer and you can give it to the deer. But the deer are not gentle, and they're so used to humans there. So they're just like walking around like they are the humans.
Bullies.
Right? And then when you like show them the snacks, you get hurt. Because a lot of deers come and run to you.
Oh no, that sounds like a nightmare. That sounds
it is a nightmare. It is, yeah.
Not getting swarmed by deer. That literally sounds like horrifying.
Yeah, it's not.
I don't like that they have their eyes don't show any. They don't have pupils, so it's even scarier.
Whenever I think
right
of
to your
deer,
soul.
I found them to be very gentle when we were there.
They've clearly unionized, and now they're like they have an agenda and everything. Like, have you guys ever seen that episode of Adventure Time with the deer in it? It's like a really creepy episode, and like basically like this deer has like kidnapped a bunch of different people. And it's not a real deer. It's like some kind of like deer monster. And like basically the deer has been like kidnapping people and like hiding them in a cave. And when they finally realize what's going on and they try to like fight the deer and escape, like it just like, the deer has like little hooves, it just like stands up on two legs and like takes off its hooves, and like underneath the hooves are like really tiny little deer fingers. It's the creepiest thing ever, and like that's all I think of when I see deer now. Yeah, it's so creepy. It's so creepy. That sounds terrifying. Just like a bunch of hungry deer coming at you out of nowhere.
Azumi, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
What's the matter? I woke you up, Brandon. Good.
Oh, this is funny as fuck. Amazing comedic timing.
What is Azumi's face?
No, I was listening to Sierra, and then I noticed Grandpa like formulating, and then
Grandpa's that whoopee meme that's like,
look at.
Okay. Anyway.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah. Go ahead, Grandpa.
I was just going to ask her. I'm getting political now, but how do the Japanese people or the government, because they could be different, feel towards the United States, Russia, and China?
That's like really difficult political questions. It's almost like college discussion. I don't know,
I don't know if she
for people for like normal people, they don't have any opinion. Cause so most of the people in Japan, they just enjoy their life. They don't care what's going on outside the country, I think. So, yeah, that's another difference. So here, sometimes people talk about the politics, like ordinarily normal people like to talk about that, and then people say like, people are really clear about what they think, about their opinions. But in Japan, if you start talking about politics, people are like, oh, I don't want to talk about that. I don't understand that. Something like that, really.
Do Japanese people say? Do Japanese people?
That's funny.
From what I understand, you said I'm only getting like half the transmission. They really just worry about their own country, their own situation more so than international politics. But do the Japanese people, are they still? Do they kind of like keep very close with family? You know, their parents, their grandparents, and that sort of thing. I think they were when I was there previously.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's changing. But still, I don't know. Not all the people stay with their parents, but still, some of the people stay with the parents. So I think the big difference is like when you graduate high school here, you are considered an adult, like independent adult, right? If you choose to go to college, you gotta pay your own tuition. That's here, right? You have to pay. But in Japan, until you graduate college, you're still a child. Like you are still under parents' control. So most of the parents pay the tuition for the college. So we don't...
Until you graduate high school, you said.
Until you graduate college in Japan. So here, most of the people have a student loan, right? But I never heard of that issue in Japan because most of the parents pay for the college tuition.
Phines, Sierra, Brandon, are you able to hear everything that Azumi's saying? Because I can't.
Not a thing. No.
Really?
I was concerned that I was in a hypnotic trance or something.
Can you hear me now?
I cannot hear her at all now.
Goddamn ghosts.
I miss you, Brandon.
I miss you too, Grandpa.
It was AC.
Maybe I'll come visit on my way back.
Yes, do it. Come through, fight Rosie.
Yeah, she scares me.
Yeah, be careful.
In fact, this last week I had a real bad pain in my neck for like 3-4 days. She bit me and I turned my head real fast.
Oh no.
And it somehow must have screwed up a muscle or something. I could hardly talk. You know, it was like, but I'm better now.
Rosie, how could you?
She has very sharp teeth. Very sharp teeth.
You gotta get a nail file for that or something.
And she's not trying to hurt me. She just flies and tries to grab onto me with her beak.
How do you know she's not trying to hurt you, Grandpa?
Well, I think she cares about me. I think that
that doesn't mean she's not trying to hurt you.
She loves me. Yeah. It's my girlfriend.
Both. It can very well be both. If there's anything I've learned.
Where's Azumi?
If there's anything I've learned from Court TV, it's that you can love someone and you can hurt them all at the same time. Shoddy, where are you? Yeah. I'm getting nothing.
I like Azumi. I like listening to her.
I know.
Yeah.
This is what I'm talking about. Okay, it's coming back to what. Hold on, Azumi's here.
What's going on?
Hold on.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
How's this?
It's good.
Better.
This is the shit I was talking about the other week. All right, who's supposed to be in charge of this? I'm pretty sure it's Peter. Who's supposed to be fixing this. The broadband crisscrossing the nation with functional internet. This is ridiculous.
Is there a Peter?
No,
in the show that was here.
Peter from Riverside.
Peter Buttigieg.
Oh.
The infrastructure man.
If we write an email to Peter Buttigieg, maybe
I'm gonna tweet him. I'm tweeting him. Hey Pete, I'm tired of dealing with this. I'm not trying to make NFTs. Okay, I'm not trying to mine Bitcoin. I'm not, running a fake power grid in Texas. I'm literally just trying to run a podcast. Where's the internet connection? Why is it so busted? What's the problem?
That's why it's so busted. You're not trying to go.
Are you in New York right now, Azumi?
Yeah.
Gotcha. And it's
another big difference that I noticed between when I was there many years ago and more recently was that when I was there in the beginning, almost all the women wore kimonos, and now they've pretty much wear Western type dress.
Yeah, that was only 50 years ago. Just
60 years ago.
60 years ago, yeah, just after the war. There are still times women, especially women, can choose if they want to go wear westernized clothing or kimono on that day for the occasion. So I think that's a really good period. I want to go time travel to that age.
Are men or women kind of the head of the household in Japan?
It's supposed to be men, but it's changing. Yeah. It used to be, 68 years ago, men are strong. Men are the master of the house. But now, gradually, women are getting more and more stronger. And and then the financial power, more and more women get more and more money. So the men don't have the right to say anything for the household. Yeah. My dad, so my parents, so my mom has the absolute power. And my dad, so my family, the things are a little different from other families. So my mom is the only one child. So in that case, my mom's parents wants to keep that family because if my mom go and marry to another family, a guy with a different family, they are going to lose the family name,
right?
Because everybody has to change the last name when they get married. So my grandparents didn't want that to happen, so they were looking for some guys who can change their names and then become to our family. Mm-hmm. So then my mom finally finds someone. He agrees to change his own last name. That's so rare in that age. So my dad agrees to change his last name. My dad was the oldest brother. He has siblings, but he has the younger siblings. So older brother, older boy has to be the next master of that family. But my dad was crazy, so he agrees to change his last name. That's so rare. And I think that one of the reasons, so of course my dad's parents has to agree too. But my dad's parents agrees on that because they know my dad is not needed in that family or something like that.
They're like, all the rest of the kids didn't pass the name.
We're good.
You don't care about him.
Staying with both your parents when you went back to Japan just now?
My parents, yes. My grandpa, grandma, most of them died.
Got you.
Yeah. So, and then my dad comes to our family, my mom's family. So it's a little different because that's my mom's family. And then that's my mom's family house. My dad moves over and then started living with my mom's mom. So it's like you were started living with another family. That's like, it's a little weird, strange, right? So the husband is supposed to have the power, but he didn't because of that situation.
Because of the financial situation?
No, because he's coming from another family.
Yeah. So how does your dad take it pretty okay? Is it no big deal? How's the family think about it?
I don't know. He doesn't talk that much. So he's I don't know. Probably he was doing fine. That's why they haven't divorced yet. But anyway, my grandma has the power, and after my grandma passed away, my mom has the power. So, and then I have a sister. So all the female in my family has the power, right? And then my dad is the only one guy in my family. So his only friend was our dog, but that dog had passed away.
Aww.
So,
oh no!
So he lost his friend.
You just laughing like,
do you send your parents these podcast episodes when they listen to any of your appearances? No.
She said, mm-mm.
Of course not.
And they don't understand English,
no.
luckily. So.
Yeah, luckily.
That's true. You can't see the respect you're putting on it. I'll be your dad's friend.
Yeah, whenever I talked about this story, the people around me saying like, "Oh, poor dad, I'll be his friend." But anyway, so it's like this is a really weird parent. So my mom hates him. My mom, complains about him all the time. Every time I talk to her, she says something bad about my dad, saying like, "Okay, my dad." I wonder why they don't get divorced yet. But anyway, they still live together. But anyway, so my dad had COVID last year. And that was a really mild symptom, and then he recovered okay. But he got COVID, and then before he got COVID, my mom keeps saying, like, don't go out, don't go to the restaurant, don't go to bars, because my dad always go to the restaurants and bars with his friends because they're lonely. You know, they don't know. The dog had passed away. No, the friend from, from somewhere else. I don't know where he got those friends. But with his friends, he always hangs out at the bar or something. So after the COVID things, becoming more and more, and he's still hanging out with his friends. So my mom told him, like, don't go out, don't do that. And then, but he didn't listen to her, and he kept like hanging out each night, and then he got COVID. So the thing is,
sounds like a lot of American marriages.
Really?
Honestly.
Oh, absolutely.
So the thing,
you're not gonna tell me what to do.
So my mom wants to see her grandsons, right? If my mom got COVID, she cannot see her grandsons for a while. That's what she hated, which she's afraid of the most. So And then my dad got COVID, and then she was like, so pissed off. And so she was tested too, and she was negative, so it was okay. But after that, she hates him even more.
It's just the way you keep saying hate, not like, oh, she gets mad or oh, she's like fed up. Like, she hates.
Yeah, because she doesn't. So okay, the laundries, she doesn't wash her clothes with his clothes. She does do the washing twice each morning because she doesn't want to wash her clothes with his.
Never mind, you're right.
Right?
You're using the right word.
What
be quiet.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So
how do you? Excuse me. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
How do you relate to your mom and your dad?
I don't know.
Do you hate your dad too?
No, I don't hate him. I don't hate him. I don't have any emotions for him. He's like,
wow,
okay,
that's
he's
even worse.
All right, that's worse. Yeah.
I've met people at a grocery store. I've had more.
Very true. Yes, he's someone who's coming home each night, but I don't care. But anyway, so
you get this from your mom or what?
I think so. Yeah, I got this from my mom. So my sister is a little bit more kinder to him. My sister, okay, I think my sister texts my dad, but I don't, and I don't even know his number.
You don't know his number?
Well, when you say you don't know his number, they live together in the same home.
Yeah,
father,
yeah.
right?
I don't have to text
so they're
them.
the same. Are they not the same number? Or
no, the phone number.
Cell phone.
The cell phone, cell phone
but,
number.
Right. Oh, they have separate cell phones.
Yeah.
So you don't really care about a relationship with your dad, obviously.
I don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about with your mom?
Well, with my mom, it's different. It's, of course, I talk to my mom more than to my dad, but I'm pretty independent. My sister is like really dependent on her. Keeps saying like, come help me with the boys. She said that, but I don't do that. But I stay with her, and then I spend most of the time with her.
Yeah, you primarily live in the States, right? So.
Yeah, when I go back to Japan,
your situation is very different. Yeah.
Yeah.
How long ago did you
when you
move to New York?
11 years ago.
Okay, so you've been in the States 11 years from.
I see that, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Were you closer with your family before you moved, like 11 years ago, or?
No. Well, so I was living with my parents when I was in Japan the whole entire time. But mentally, the distance was like wider when I was in Japan. And after I moved to here, it's getting closer and closer. Mentally.
Yeah. That's how it is with my parents. I feel like once I moved away, I'm closer to them.
I can see that.
Yeah. Because if you live with them, it's annoying. Right? You're very annoying.
Yeah. They are annoying.
Distance makes the heart grow fonder.
There you go,
yeah.
How is your niece, bro? How's your niece?
Me?
Nephews? My nephews?
Azumi.
Yeah.
They're okay, they're cute.
Question.
Because 3 years old boy.
Aww.
Think about it. The 3 years old boy. So okay, the younger one is cute because he hasn't started talking yet. He's just like toddling around and saying blah 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 blah. That's cute.
Yeah.
Yes. 3 years old. Started talking. Started saying what he wants. And if he can't get what he wants, he yells at you.
He chooses violence.
Yeah, yells and saying, I want this right now. I want it. I can't wait. Why don't you give it to me now?
Now, will he grow up bilingual?
No. No, he's in Japan. Yeah. So, and then I don't totally agree with my sister's child rearing style.
Did she do it backwards
What?
or something? I was making a child rearing joke.
Okay,
But go ahead.
yeah.
What are you saying?
My sister.
Shut up, Phines.
No, I didn't understand the joke. But anyway, my sister's child rearing style, it's very laid back. She just give him whatever he wants.
Do you think the parents should be strict?
I think so. Yes.
Whoa. I disagree.
What? Because
You said
okay.
you said I want my babies to be indifferent to me when they grow up.
I feel nothing for my mother.
Azumi, I don't know her.
Their parents and their parents.
But that's easier.
I don't have their number.
You seem so not. Usually people are traumatized one way or the other. Like, they love me too much or too little. You're like, yeah, this is literally perfect. My mom hated my dad, and he had a job.
Yeah.
I don't know me. I don't feel anything for him. Oh, nowhere. Oh, do you like your mom?
My mom? She's okay. Sometimes annoying.
Yeah, I feel
she's
that.
Okay. She's okay. Well, she's a good mom, I think. She's a good mom and she's a good grandma to the two boys.
You have a fiance, right, Azumi?
No. Who said that?
Boyfriend.
Yeah.
Partner?
Yeah.
Boyfriend.
Yeah.
No.
She said who?
Who's talking
Who's
shit
talking shit out
Are
here?
you more?
He's gonna come in the background and start
affectionate and like want that with him and him as a father and a parent, maybe potentially one day if you have kids, or no, you're fine, just like chill, neutral relationship,
like my mom.
Like your mom.
I think I have more affection to him than to my dad. Yeah, I have a hope and dream with him. How's that? Are you satisfied?
If you ever have a kid and they grow up, will you share your phone number with them, or you go, nah, I'm not even interested?
No, I'm a mother. I will be a mother, right? Mother and father, it's different because mother will be closer to the child.
Okay.
Father, you don't necessarily need your father to grow up.
It all depends on.
I kind of get where you're coming from, though. Like in some, like it kind of sounds like almost more cultural because like it kind of sounds like maybe there's been more of a shift in like those parent roles here versus in Japan, where like what you're describing sounds more like what maybe like my grandparents would experience with their parents. Like there's been more of a shift where like people like are expecting more that now if you're gonna be like a father, you should really be just as involved, just as like have just as much.
Yeah. That's great, right?
Right.
So most of the guys are like, that's normal for guys to participate in child rearing.
Right.
Right? They do the things with the child. But my parents, especially my parents' generation, so my sister and my sister's husband, they cooperate each other.
Okay.
So okay, that's good. Okay.
Yeah.
But my parents' generation, my dad, especially my dad, he didn't participate. My mom did 95% of the things in the household. So we didn't need him. Sorry to say that, but we didn't need him.
I got you.
Yeah.
I mean,
so the only one memory with him, with my dad, is that we went to to like some kind of beach. I don't remember exactly. I was really young. I was maybe 3 or 4 or 5 years old, and then the entire family went to the trip to the beach, and then so there's like inflammable the air.
inflatable house or something like that.
Small
something you can
boat for the kid.
Oh, cute.
So we pump it up, and so that time I was still a still good friend with my dad. I was when I was in 3. Me and my dad were good friends, and then so we did the boat thing on the ocean, and then so I was on the boat, and then he pushes it from behind, but he pushes it too hard, and the boat flipped, and then I was under the ocean, like completely soaked, and then I was 3. Think about it. I was 3, and the boat flipped. And then, so I was like, so it was a beach. So inside my bikini, I was wearing a bikini at that time. So inside my bikini, like there's full of like sands and rocks inside my bikini. And then I cried.
Aww.
And that's when you're like, I'll never be your friend again.
Yeah. There's a reason behind it.
One chance.
Yeah.
Damn.
It sounds to me like it's a matter of if the father makes an effort to, to be involved in your life,
right.
and that makes the difference of how you relate with them.
Mm-hmm. But my mom didn't give him a chance either. So, like, each time she asked him to do something, like wash the dishes or something, he always breaks something. So she stopped asking anything.
See.
But none of these things are on purpose, right? Has you ever done anything purposefully
If
bad?
every time somebody asks you
that's
to
the
do
worst
dishes
part about it.
and you break a dish every single
That's the worst
time,
part.
there's no way you're doing that. It's no way it's an accident. It's just not possible.
Well, I don't know if it's a
You're just dumb.
purpose or not, but
No.
it doesn't matter. He cannot do that.
It doesn't.
Period.
No, it's not.
We're not going to ask any.
It's as much of an accident as Rosie's little sniper attacks.
Yeah, it's out of love, right?
Right.
Yeah, you don't care if somebody runs you over with a car, whether they intended to or they didn't intend to. It's doesn't make a whole lot of difference. Yeah.
But you were talking about your nephew talking too much.
Yeah. So not talking too much. He yells.
Yeah.
Yells. So okay, my sister's a child rearing style. So okay, before dinner, 3-year-old boy started screaming, saying like, "I want a jelly. I want snacks." Right?
Yeah.
What do you say to him? Just before dinner, you would say, "No, it's time for dinner. I'm not going to give you a jelly this time." Right?
Right.
But my sister just said, "Okay, jelly." And then, okay, after the jelly, we started eating dinner. Of course, the kid says, "I'm not hungry. I want to eat. No vegetables. No, I'm not hungry. I don't want it anymore." It's not his fault. It's my sister's fault.
Yeah.
Sounds like they're making you nuts.
Yeah. I'm like, yeah, I can't really say or do anything for that situation.
Yeah.
But it's like,
Yeah,
it's not my baby. But it's like, don't do that.
You're ruining it. You're making a bad citizen.
I had when I was little, my cousin used to come in the mornings and we would get ready for school, and my mom would drive all of us to school. And he was literally the pickiest eater ever, and it would drive us crazy. Like, it would be so particular. Like, he would only eat cheese pizza and chicken nuggets and like bacon. Like, that was it. Like, that was literally it.
Sounds amazing.
That was literally it. And it was like, we don't buy chicken nuggets. Bacon is expensive, and nobody and like, he would be the only one that wants a cheese pizza, and it would be like none of the food could touch. Like, everything would either, like, if we had like a family function, there would be like 3 little paper plates, like the small ones, like 3 or 4 of them, because nothing could touch. And it was just always so complicated for no reason. And I remember, like, it would get so bad in the mornings. Like, he just wouldn't eat just because he was tired or just if he was irritated. But, like, he knows he's going to be hungry, like, as soon as we get in the car or as soon as we're, like, on our way somewhere, he's going to, like, be whining because he's hungry. And I remember it got so bad, like, you know, those little, like, packets of, like, instant oatmeal. My mom was, like, opening those up, and she would make him, like, half of one of those packets or, like, a quarter of one of those packets, and he still wouldn't finish it. And there was even one day where I was just completely finished. I was completely done. I was never going to tell him to, like, eat anything again. I was never going to try to help him finish eating his food ever again, because one day, like, we made him, like, actual breakfast. Like, it was, like, eggs and bacon or something. Like some good, like, hot breakfast. And he came in there and he looked at the plate and he said, I don't eat bacon. And I was like, well, now you're just a damn dirty liar. So what's your excuse now? I know you eat bacon. Everyone eats bacon, okay? Don't lie to my face, dog. Don't lie to my face. And he's like, oh, well, I don't eat this bacon. It was perfect, like the thick cut shit. And he was like, no, just don't. I don't do that. And we're like, what do you mean you don't do that? You're lying to my face. He said, I only eat my Pawpaw's bacon, okay? I don't know what that is over there. I eat Pawpaw brand bacon, all right? He's talking about my grandpa. I was like, I don't think I took it. I should have just taken it from him. I should have just taken the whole plate, but, like, very picky eater.
All this stuff, it makes me think, like, yeah, like, I feel very good never having kids.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I'm fine. I mean, I'm good without.
I'd never want kids, actually.
It's scary.
Well, it's like you're gonna fuck them up either, except for Azumi. She's the first person I met. You're gonna fuck them up either way. You know, too much or too little. Like,
I know if I did have kids, if they didn't text me, I'd feel very sad. Or if they didn't have my number, I'd be even more upset.
Not gluing plates right now. Like, when will she?
I don't know about that. In case.
Yeah, he's like.
Would you ever want kids, Azumi, or no?
I think so. Maybe, yeah, but maybe just one, and then preferably girl, because I saw 2 boys.
Like, I've had my fill of boy children for the rest of my life. At least 2 months is enough.
Yeah.
Girls are expensive.
But if you just have one, compared to 2 boys, that probably the same.
What's expensive about a girl versus having a boy?
Dresses.
Aside from you know the lifetime of feminine supplies that they're gonna have to buy.
Yep, and all those tests you got to go to, grams, monograms, gonograms, a lot of grams. You just get a boy and go, look, put some dirt on it and get out of my way.
That's
well,
fair.
it depends on that personality of that child.
You could have a real bougie ass kid that says, "No, I'm only gonna eat the Tyson brand chicken nuggets. I'm only gonna eat the freshly sliced bacon. Like, don't give me the packaged shit. I need it straight from the butcher."
Yeah.
I'm on the Azumi side. If I do have a kid, I'll be extremely strict. They won't even know
what bacon is.
What? No, they probably won't.
Well,
only watch.
Okay, the funny story. So, I've been watching my 2 crazy boys with my sisters, and then so after a while, I saw my friend from high school. She has 2 kids, 1 girl, 1 boy, and I went to her house and see 2 kids. Her life is very humble, I would say. So, okay, my sister gives 2 boys anything they want. Like, any toys, any snacks, whatever they want. If they want to watch SpongeBob, okay, go ahead, watch the SpongeBob. But anyway, so my friend, she has a very humble life, and her apartment is tiny. So she doesn't have enough space for their toys to, like, you know, the store or something. So, and my sister my sister and my sister's husband also, they gave them, when the boys say, like, I want a toy car or a toy train, they always give one to him. Doesn't matter birthday, doesn't matter what day of the year, doesn't matter if it's not a Christmas or anything, they just give it anytime. But my friend, she only gives the present either on birthday or Christmas Day. Right? That's the right thing to do. And then so the kids know he only gets 2 presents in a year. So he has to be really, really careful what he chooses. Because he's going to get only 2.
Damn.
Well, that's the right way.
Yeah. I don't even know Chris. They don't need Christmas gifts either.
And then so whenever she got a present for him, she got it from like a second-hand store. She's very humble, and then
the miracle is that you're alive, kid.
I gave you the gift of sustenance. Take this burger and go away.
Get out of my
yeah. Anyway, so my nephews has like thousands of toy trains or something. My friend's son have only like humble amount, and then she taught him like, okay, we don't have enough space, so when you get the next present, you have to decide which one you are going to throw away. That's like, that should be the mom. My only counter.
This is just a question, not even really a counter. Compared to a kid that gets whatever they want, and when they get older, aren't they going to like strive for more compared to someone that's all humble and happy with what they have?
That's a difficult question. But I like my friend's style better than my sister's.
Yeah, but how are the kids turning out? Like,
so the kid, so my friend's kid is like, he's so cute. He's 5 years old, and he loves like police cars, and the emergency cars. That type of car. He has a very weird preference.
He's like, take me away, please.
I don't know.
Oh wow!
I don't know. But anyway, he likes like an ambulance and those type of cars, and he has the toys. Yeah. So, and when I went to my friend's place, he was not shy. He comes up to me and started talking about those toy cars and explained to me what this is car for. And then we played. It's not really a play. He like talks to me a lot, but he never yells, saying like, "I want jelly." He never says something like that. He's really good.
The nephews do. The nephews yell.
Yes.
Yeah, do you, hypothetically, do you think, like, would you ever spank your kid? Like, what do you do if they're yelling, like, if they're just a bad kid and, like, you know?
Well, you can't, you just have to say no. You won't get snacks at this time because you're having dinner. No. Period. And then if the child yelling at you, I'm just gonna ignore it.
Yeah, you can't reward it because they'll keep doing it all the time.
It's kind of like if somebody's like Phines, you're saying, when you're at work, people get on your nerves. Like, people don't wear a mask. You can just go up and just like slap them.
Yeah.
You can't just slap somebody. I want to sometimes, but can't. Doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Nope. Can't give them attention though. That's what if they get it, they'll keep getting it. That's what they want. It's better just to leave them alone. Like, I know you want this, but you know what? You gotta just be quiet and not say anything. Cause I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. Or my parents always said money. Like, if whatever I wanted, like, you got that type of money? And I'm like, I'm a kid. Shit. Of course I don't have that type of money, but can I have a McDonald's? You got McDonald's money? All right then. Well then, I guess we're both out of luck.
Do you have McDonald's money? Did you give me McDonald's money?
Right, exactly. I run the money, is my parents like, exactly. So no. I'll get a job.
Right.
Not to change the subject, but I wanted to ask this since we're running close to time and I've been super curious. Did you ever pursue acting in Japan, or no? It was all only here.
Not really. I took some classes, and I didn't like it, and I moved to here. Yeah.
What's different about
you're still pursuing acting full time here, right?
Trying, yeah.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
As we all, right?
Yeah.
What's different
what was
about
the
the
difference
Japanese
that you did?
acting
Like-
scene versus
Mm-hmm.
in New
Yeah.
York?
So there's not so many acting schools in Japan. There are only a few, and not so great. Not so many options, and so if you want to learn acting, it's hard. Okay, you have to really. Okay, so the school I decided to go. It's not really a school. It's more like a production company. So they offer classes. So in that class, they don't have any kind of method. They just say, do it. And then if there's a scene, like if it says like the actor one crying, the teacher tells me like, okay, try harder.
Try what harder?
Try to cry.
Just do it.
Yeah, just do it. There's no method behind it. So, yeah. And then also, I was in a acting company. So that's the other option to learn acting, because there's not much option there. But in an acting company, if you are new, like a freshman, they don't give you any acting roles. They will force you to do like how do you say it? Like anything besides acting, like sounds, costume,
right?
Yeah, stage.
They do. I've experienced that at theaters here a lot.
Okay.
What's the method to cry that you've learned here that's better?
So here, I went to acting school here in New York, and then they taught me. So the one of the teacher at the acting school in New York, she told me, like, even if it says cry, you don't have to cry if you don't feel it. That's how they taught us. But what's important is what happened before, right? And then she has a very specific method, and then the logic behind it. Like she said, obstacle plus objective equals action. Did you get that?
Yeah.
Obstacle plus objective equals action.
Well, what if you get on set and the director's like, all right, for this one, that was a good take. I need more crying, like more tears and action.
I wouldn't say anything. I just try to. I don't know. I would try it again. But I never met the directors like that.
Are you not allowed to
Really?
like just whip out the Vicine bottle and just, do a few drops?
Is that those?
Well, sometimes, yeah. Some of the directors would say like, "Hey, use eye drops."
Yeah.
Yeah. But I never met a director to say some stupid stuff here.
That's good.
Yeah. Yeah, but anyway, the teacher here taught me a lot of things, like where to look at in the stage. Nobody ever told me that. Right?
Where do you look?
Yeah. What do you
So,
look at?
it's either you find the exit sign. That should be in the back of the theater. So look for the exit sign and look for it. Or don't just look at the audience's eyes. Don't ever do that. But look between each person's head here.
Mm-hmm.
Don't make eye contact with the audience.
Yeah.
Don't ever.
Are you presently getting any kind of work now that, with the COVID situation?
So right now, I was in Japan too long, so I'm not really actively doing those things. But last year, I got kind of a lot. Yeah, I did Zoom performance maybe twice, 3 times, something like that. And then I was in a Shakespeare acting company. We made videos, and 2 videos, and I did voiceover stuff, and what else? I did some promotional videos and photo shoot. I get a lot last year.
Love it.
Yeah, it's
So how are things looking now as far as, looking up with things coming to life at all with work, or you just don't know at this point?
yeah. I just don't know at this point. So 2 months spending in Japan, it's like I was in a different world. I was in a different universe. It's really different. I was with my mom the entire time. I was so spoiled by her. She cooked all the time. She did the cleaning. She did the laundry. So it's like it's just so different. And it just got back here last week, and I'm trying to, get used to the New York life again. I have to do the rehabilitation of myself. I still have jet lag.
Wow. How long you been back?
That was last Thursday, so
Yeah, I can see that.
6 days.
yeah. I just think to get rid of my suitcase. It's like my room was a mess since this morning or yesterday. Yeah. And then
Did you want to stay longer? Did you not want to come back? It was nice for those 2 months.
yeah, I didn't want to come back to New York. And I was keep asking myself, why am I coming back to New York?
Same. I had the same thought, and I was like, oh, I'm not gonna go back. Okay.
Is New York
Wait,
still open?
where are you now? Still in?
Right now I'm in California, but I'm in Atlanta, Georgia.
So you live in Georgia, right?
I live in Georgia, and I was really debating maybe this month I'll go back to New York. And I'm like,
Really?
yeah, really, but I don't think
You don't have any aspiration to stay in LA or California?
no.
Yeah.
Brandon?
No.
Why?
I mean, no.
Why?
I don't know anybody. I don't know.
Well, have you
anything.
been out yet?
No.
Well,
Well.
walk on down to Tyler Perry Studios and say, "Listen, I'm your guy. It's me,
No,
Tyler."
that's in Atlanta.
next.
No, they're asking me. I'm talking about LA. I don't know
Oh.
anything in LA.
No, not LA.
Oh.
Atlanta, I have a whole little life now. Very little life.
You got a friend group?
You got a squad?
I have a friend group, and everything's starting to get it set up, and yeah, but everybody here
Wow.
that I've my friend Spencer, he's like, move to LA, and I was like, why?
Is that the same ice cream truck that was down my street?
I think it's my street.
I
Yeah.
know, but it was
Oh, now
my
it's
street a little while
my
ago.
street. Yeah.
Making his rounds. Man's gotta get that
Wait, are you
paper.
Queens, Azumi?
Yeah, but in Woodside, not in Astoria.
Yeah, but the truck.
That's hilarious. He dropped really fast.
Nobody's stopping right now, right?
Come on.
They don't like it in Astoria, fucking Woodside.
Damn.
Yeah.
Is okay.
Yeah.
So I have a question. Is New York still open? Opened up and everything?
Yeah.
It is, right? I still don't know. I'm I don't know that yet. I haven't.
Yeah. It's
Okay.
opened up. It's open.
So crazy because
We're
2 months
out.
ago, New York was so shut down. So it must be a whole new world for.
Yeah, I know.
Right?
Yeah. Well, it's not so shut down. It's not, right?
Not
Still, the
anymore,
restaurants
yeah,
are
it
open.
was,
No. Restaurants
But
are
still,
open, yeah.
it was like a 50% of the limitation, something like that. So, Okay. This Monday, I went to a meetup group. It's funny. It's a French language lovers meetup group. I don't speak French, but I'm super interested in. And I have a French friend. He lives in Paris right now, and I'm very, very interested in French, the language itself.
Yeah.
And I used Duolingo. Do you know the app?
Yeah.
I used it.
Yeah. I got Duolingo. Let's add
I used it
add me.
maybe 3 years ago. I haven't opened it for maybe 3 years. But I found that French group in the meetup thing. And I wanted to go. I found it during the COVID year. And they don't have the actual meeting for a while. And then they started doing it. So I found it on the meetup, and then they started having an actual meeting, and then I went there Monday. They have a meeting at the bar. Nobody wears a mask. That was scary to me. There were probably 20 people there. They didn't check everybody's vaccination status. It's a little scary. And then I thought, is it New York now? New York everywhere? Is it like that? No?
Yeah.
It is?
Besides LA, the entire country is like that, and New York is one of the last places to be like that. So.
Yeah, we are one of the last places, but it's still very scary and unsettling.
When I moved when I moved to Georgia in December of 2020, it was like that for 80% of the people, and now it's like that 100%. I haven't seen a mask in a long time.
How can there be well, there's no one, literally no one was wearing the mask in the bar, so I couldn't I wanted to I wanted to keep the mask, but I couldn't do that because I was the only one person that looked so weird.
Social. You'd be the only person that's going to be alive.
That's
sorry, that was me. They said it'd be really hard to learn French with those groups of people, probably. But no, I get it.
What?
I hate that.
Made it sad. Why did you get that?
I never can disappoint. They sent it. They have a setup. Once you're on Duolingo for a couple of days again, they'll start sending you notifications about
that.
I get those, and I don't even. And the thing is, I don't even get those when I've been using it for a couple of days. I'll start getting those if I accidentally click on it. If I accidentally open it on my phone and then I close it really quick, I'll still get an email that was like, "Hey girl, I saw you. Don't hide. Come back over here. Learn Japanese. Get out of town."
There's an ongoing joke that the Duolingo owl is like a fucking serial killer.
Yeah.
Vicious with the passive aggressiveness. But I feel you, Azumi. That happened to me a couple months ago, where I got invited to this hangout because a bunch of my friends were about to graduate college, and so it ended up being, I didn't know it at the time, but it ended up being the last time I was really gonna see them before they all left the state. And so they were I just got a text. I was like, "Hey, I'm coming to town in a week. Text me if you want to be included in a group chat so we can figure something out." And then I was like, "Okay, for sure. Just put me on the list." I was like, I don't know where I'll be in a week, whatever. And then when I get the details, it's like, "Oh, go to this bar." And okay, that was the first bar I'd ever been to. And I'd heard about this bar all 4.5 years of college. And I was like, never anything great, but I was like, okay. I was like, I guess I'm going now. And it's like the bar crawl in my college town is there's no sidewalks, there's no lights, but there's 8 bars on this 2-lane road. It's the creepiest, weirdest thing, most hazardous bar crawl ever. And so this one is damn near at the end of this long, dark 2-way road. And I get there and it's literally, I don't know what the capacity is, but we're 40 people above that. We have to be. It was so full. Wow. And as soon as I got there, I was like, well, one, it was the most Irish place I'd ever been in. And I say that having graduated from an Irish Catholic high school and all that. It was the most Irish place I'd ever been. And nobody was wearing a single mask. And I said, all right, I'm already here now. I'm not gonna try to like wrestle back out of the parking lot. And like no one had any masks on, so I just like put my shit back in my purse, and I was like, this is fine. This is my life now. And like in those like situations, it's so crowded, you kind of like can't wear the mask because it's like it's loud and like crazy, and like you can't hear what's going on. Like you can't. If everybody was wearing a mask, like you couldn't read lips or like do anything. Like it's just chaos. Chaos.
Yeah. But how can those people are not you, not me? How can those people are fine? Like,
because
they were not vaccinated. I can tell you that right. I can tell you that right now. We weren't that. It was like, okay, so it was graduation time, so it was like May or June. Okay, we weren't there yet. We didn't have the numbers. Okay. We didn't have the numbers in May and June. They were not. I know right now they were not all vaccinated.
It's like so gross.
Not worried.
And then especially I was in Japan and everybody wearing a mask in Japan. Everybody's so cautious. And then, well, in general, Japanese people are cleaner than Americans.
I believe.
So yeah,
I don't disagree with that.
So yeah.
Not the French club being nasty at the bar. That would make me sad.
Yeah, but for me it feels nasty.
Yeah.
But anyway, the club itself was really interesting. People started talking to me in French, and then I said, well, the only French I can say is bonjour. Je m'appelle
Bonjour.
Azumi. Je suis japonaise. And this is a phrase that I learned there. J'habite ici 11 ans.
So is this fellow worth learning French for?
Well, I don't know. I just like it. I like the language. Yeah. But the people started talking to me in French because so the people there more or less know how to speak, how to communicate, even though they say, oh, I'm beginner, but nobody's like my level. So I was like,
not a true beginner.
I'm not even a beginner. I haven't begun anything yet. Just downloaded Duolingo. That's it.
That's the spirit. You're doing the right track. You're on the right track.
Love it.
Well, Brandon,
your final thoughts, Brandon?
Nice final thoughts.
Any final thoughts, Brandon?
This is so nice. I feel like I haven't seen Azumi in like months and months. So yeah, you're probably one of the best guests. I'd say the most on guests we've ever had. Is that true?
Probably.
Like
really?
5 Azumi?
I think so.
I don't know. I can't count.
You're neutral about it. I understand.
I can't count.
What are your final thoughts, Azumi?
It's really nice to be back. I'm still. I can't still believe I'm in New York.
Yeah, it's so sad.
So I'm like gradually doing this kind of thing and talking to the people I know before. I'm coming back to my old world. Sadly, I don't know if it's not sad. Yeah, good or bad. I'm still missing.
I'll subtitle the episode and send it to your dad, and then you guys can share that together.
No.
He won't understand any of it.
The funny thing is, his job, he's a translator. He's a translator of Japanese and English.
Oh,
he has his own company.
So he
has his own firm.
Then what are you talking
about? Translator.
Send him the episodes.
No, he cannot speak English. He's a translator, but cannot speak English. Isn't that funny?
Wow,
he's a businessman.
He's a business.
Is he not capable
That's
of
the
speaking
hustle right there.
He cannot speak English. He can write and read. I really doubt his ability. But he cannot speak. I don't know how much he can listen to it and then understands it, but I don't know.
That sounds weird.
Yeah.
Sounds smart. You got a good job for not knowing.
Grandpa?
Who was he? Who are you speaking to, Phines?
Yeah.
Oh! I was just thinking about a friend of mine who, she's a audiologist, but she trained Japanese people in English, but she never spoke Japanese.
Ooh.
So my final thought is that the time goes by very, very quickly when you're on Azumi. You're very interesting and outgoing, and I enjoyed having you on the show.
Thank you.
Sierra?
Final thoughts. Be gone spirits, air conditioners, whatever. Children, childbirth is scary. Let everybody, I'm so glad you're here, Azumi. Love catching up. Love the hair. I'm glad you actually got like a nice vacation. That sounds dope. I wish I could vacation for a month. Got to see the whole fam. Got to see the little nephews. Super cute. And my dad's dope. Just want to throw that out there,
If you're listening to this show, Father,
just get some dad props out there. My dad's cool. Not
good.
Just not shaming all the dads. That's all. And thanks for listening, gang.
Phines?
Yeah. Yeah, always nice seeing you, Azumi. Always nice hearing from you. Your stories are hilarious.
Which one? Which one is hilarious? My dad?
All of that was funny.
Yeah. I think the most funny thing for me today was the fact that I feel like I learned a lot about you as a person and how you were raised. I feel like even though you didn't say anything about your dad, I feel like there's a lot of your dad in you. And your mom, which is the unemotional, I don't care. Or wait, no, your mom has emotions. Your mom hates people.
Yeah.
You're the scarier one. They're the one that has no emotion. That's not cool. That's my learning.
Good.
I need to plug. Well, first, Azumi, do you have anything to plug?
What?
Anything to promote? Anything you want listeners to go to? Or
maybe my website.
Website,
social. So the Facebook link, it's long, so I don't want to say it now. My website. Well, if you can just type my name in Google, I think you can find it. My name's Azumi. People can see this thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and then Azumi and my last name. How can I should have typed in my last name here. Why did I do that?
We can put it in the show notes, but it's AZUMI, and then
and then my last name is the most
it's
complicated.
Okay.
Oh, you know that,
yeah.
But it's a complicated TSUTSUI.
That's not complicated.
Really? People don't get it.
No, they're just not
like
trying.
Even like Japanese people, like if you like talking to somebody on the phone and say like, "Oh, what is your name?" and like, "Oh, my name is Tsutsui," and people say, "What?
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I'm reading Japanese myths right now. I forgot to say about that.
We wanted to talk about that. What's in there?
Lots of stories about lots of names I can't pronounce. You know what? I guess the thing I did learn was Raiden from Mortal Kombat. That's a real god. That's a Japanese thunder god. I had no clue. Raiden. Have you seen Mortal Kombat? Oh, it's like it's a '90s video game that also is a movie. But there's a character named Raiden that uses thunder as his and lightning as his fighting ability. I had no idea it was a real actual. Well, there's a mythology about
real
Raiden.
actual guy who can use a thunder.
It's a card. It's like a video game fighter person, but the character's name is Raiden, and he is the thunder god. But I didn't know it was really based off of a real Japanese myth.
Really?
Which it is. Yeah, I had no clue. But yeah.
Before we head off, I've been asked cool thing from our Instagram. Someone reached out, a city council person that's running that wants to be on our show. Talk to Grandpa. So that's awesome. So our Instagram is blowing up. What's the handle, Sierra?
I think it's just at Grandpa and Chill. The word and.
Okay, at Grandpa and Chill, please do whatever you do on Instagram. Follow, I believe, right?
Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on Twitter. Give us some, retweets. Okay.
Yeah.
We got a Patreon.
We got all the socials going. We got Facebook. All the stuff. The TikTok and
everything the kids are into. We're into it too.
Yeah. And we got a Patreon. So if you like the show, please, subscribe to that.
Pay us.
And, anything else, guys?
I'd like to redo my final thoughts.
Yes.
I have new information. I want to say for the record, Peter, I'm mostly sorry because he's the transportation secretary, not whatever else I said, not the broadband man. Transportation. But he's the one, I thought of him because he's the one that wants to make all the new railroads and the speed lines or whatever they're called. He wants to do the bullet trains and all that across America.
Oh, really? That is a good idea.
It's a great idea.
It's great.
Oh
yeah.
Trains are amazing.
But the infrastructure bill that actually earlier today before we started got postponed again because Republicans are actual asshats. That's the shit that's supposed to put the fucking broadband, supposed to have, what is it? Universal. There's like a universal broadband plan involved in the bill so that everybody can have fucking internet that actually works. So just a reminder that all of our Republican comrades just don't want you to have internet. If you live somewhere and you have shitty internet, remember who got you there. Remember who's keeping you there in bad internet. The guy's gonna come next week on Republican.
Did I mention he's running for
honestly.
I don't know what he's running for.
But that's what's going on. That's what we're supposed to be having. It's on the agenda. It's on someone cares somewhere, but we don't have it, and now you know why.
Somebody sent a letter to AT&T. Do you know? It was on the news. Somebody who has a really shitty internet, and they send a letter to president of I think it was AT&T, saying like, hey, we have a shitty internet. And that letter was on the news. That guy is a pretty rich person, somewhere living in a rural area.
I don't see. But I believe it. I would. I'm about to start. I really am about to start tweeting people that are supposed to be fixing things in my life because I'm dang near fed up.
I have a technical question. We were having a lot of problems with the transmission of Azumi earlier in the show, but that stopped. What changed?
Well, I started using my phone as a hotspot.
This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. I have to use, it's a plot by big ISPs where you have to use you can't even use your own router in your own home to contact people and speak to people. You have to use your data and as a hotspot to connect. You have to make your data into a router and pay extra for the data.
Yes. And then if you choose the cheaper plan, you can't use that hotspot. You have to pay more.
You have to have the good phone with the good hotspot.
Yes.
You gotta have the expensive shits. You know what? I'm tweeting Peter tonight. I don't care. It's not his job.
Not Peter.
Peter's getting it anyway because Peter's getting it anyway. I'm so done. I'm so done that you literally have a great connection now because you're using your fucking telephone as a hotspot.
And then because I'm paying a lot of money to AT&T. That's why.
America is a cesspool. I'm going back with you to Japan next year, and I'm not coming back. I'm not.
I'll go with you. I'm so
Great.
done. Yeah, that's my final thoughts. I'm done.
Okay.
right.
Anything else? If not,
All right.
Say goodbyes.
Yeah.
Thank you so much again
Good
for
night.
listening to our show. We love you wherever you are. You're an amazing audience. Thank you for your support. Grandpa, I love you. That's a wrap.
Podcasting with Grandpa Bart and Rosie, always on his shoulder. This is Grandpa and Chill.
Grandpa and Chill is brought to you by your hosts, Brandon Fox, Bart Frank, and Phines Jackson. Our producer is Sierra Doss. You can find episodes old and new on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and more. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to watch the show, and follow us on Twitter for behind-the-scenes moments you can't get anywhere else.